Beyond the Veil, Navigating the Great Awakening, a special series on Survivor Angels.
It's time for Survivor Angels, an approach to strengthen trauma survivors. Here, you can escape what draws negativity and engage your positive abilities and the gifts that you've always had. Let's activate your angels. And to help you on that journey, here's Chaplain Jodi.
Jen, are we awake or are we awakening?
We are awakening. And hopefully we'll be teaching others how to be awake too. See the signs out there and navigate our everyday.
Right. And as I know, as I've said on all of my things, and I'm sure you have told people in your conversations, whether it's in your readings or just general conversation, that the shift has started. We are in this.
Yeah, absolutely. The beginning of the year of the wood snake, right? The wood snake is definitely about shedding. It's about transformation. It's about, taking that skin off and becoming who we need to be, and about conflict, when we're not following our divine guidance, and about how we navigate that to become who we need to be. It's also 2025. So you add 2 to 0 and 5, that gives you a number 9 year. So numerically, it's also telling you that we're ending a season and we're going to start a new season next year. And so this is the year of transformation for us. This is the year of starting in our power. And hopefully we'll be able to, together, let people understand about stepping into their power, owning it, moving forward to who they need to be.
Exactly. And just we'll tell everybody here from the get-go, Jen and I will be doing this. It will always drop the first Sunday of the new month. And so that way you will have it for moving through that month. And then we'll be back the next month with some guidance for you for that month. And on we'll go.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. This April is a huge month for all kinds of activity out there in the universe. It's a little crazy out there. It's kind of as crazy out there as what it is crazy right here.
Right.
April 8th, we've got, and I have to double check my notes because there's so many of them that I'm going to get this confused. I'm going to put my glasses on so I look very smart too as I talk about this. So April 8th is the solar eclipse.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a difference between solar and lunar. We're not going to get into that. But basically, for us, as far as we're concerned, it's about how they affect us, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's a magnification of the energy. So if you are feeling highly anxious, you're going to magnify that. So just knowing about the energies and how it affects our body, you can actually navigate and be aware of, okay, this is what I hear, this is how I feel. Oh, and it's because of this celestial thing going on that I could better navigate. So just know that everything's going to be magnified.
Right. And now this solar eclipse is, I'm going to say grounded, because I believe that everything is grounded, whether you're here on this plane or whether you're out in the middle of the universe somewhere. There is a grounding to everything.
Oh, yeah.
This one is in Aries. And so as a psychic medium, what are you seeing as the energy and the mood for April?
So April, I feel a lot of upheaval. I'm getting still the constant battle of things moving, things breaking apart, things, but it's going to be amplified. There's going to be more of a need, an urgency to break free of what's not serving you. You're going to get anxious about what you're entertaining and what you're not willing to put up with anymore. So that's big. Communication, there's going to be glitches in the communication. So whether it's your computer, whether or not it's a business, whether or not it's husband, wife stuff, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be, communication, just remember that in the back of your head when you're navigating this month of being a little more mindful, being a little bit more introspective and take a pause to say, is this really the energies that I'm feeling from the month, or why am I feeling this? So always take that pause, especially during this month. It's going to be a lot of upheaval. But it's also going to feel very like an urgency, like I am ready to make this decision and I'm going to jump off the platform and do it. So it's also really good about letting you springboard and platform off of things that you might have been afraid to do, new beginnings. And so you will feel this sense of urgency, like you know what? I've been sitting on the fence about this. I'm going to do it.
Awesome. Yeah, I know, because one thing that I'm getting from the angels is they keep telling me fiery transformation.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that a very interesting phrase because they're also telling me that this is going to be some major life shifts for people, especially in the solar eclipse on the 8th.
Oh, yeah.
And so in the process of those shifts, it's not going to be like a nice smooth little transformation that's going to happen. It's going to be a little hot, let's say. Hopefully
Right.
not a hot mess. But then for everybody out there, if you're looking to, well, where do I go? Who do I get some guidance from? Archangel Uriel is the one that you're going to want to tap into for April 8th for the solar eclipse, because Uriel is going to help to get you some clarity, if you will, on it, because it's going to be a little messy. But I mean, like you said, at the beginning when we started talking about the month of April, it's all about energy and energy shifts and everything. So it makes perfect sense that then Uriel needs to step in and give you that focus that you need.
Yeah, absolutely. And what? Change and transformation is all about being uncomfortable. We get
It
stuck in a
is.
rut. We get stuck in, well, this is the way I've always done things. This is a shakeup, like you said. It's going to be dynamic. It's going to be rough at first, but you have to have the courage to kind of plow through and let things settle, and let things go where they need to go, because change is never easy. Change is very difficult. But when you make the change, that definitely opens the door, broadens your horizons to other opportunities that you may not have had you have not
Yeah.
been uncomfortable.
Right. And you always tell yourself nothing lasts forever.
Right.
And so this is one moment in time. However long that moment is, we all measure things differently. Don't measure it by the clock. I mean, forget the clock.
Right.
It's all about, it's the universal clock is what it is, the one that's out there that we can't see, but we can feel it. So then on April 23rd, there is a lunar eclipse.
Right.
Yeehaw! That one, it's Scorpio that's messing with us on that one. And so of course we all know what Scorpio can do. Um,
Mm,
but Scorpio likes to, kind of get in deep with our emotions and everything. So if we if we already, survived the hot mess of April 7th with the solar eclipse, April 23rd, then here comes Scorpio, and we're going to have the lunar eclipse, and our emotions are going to do
big.
what? What do you think? What are our emotions going to do, Jen?
It's going to be the flux of the whole month. So you're really going to be challenged in the beginning of the month. And then at the end, you're really going to have to hone in. And this is where I always tell people, take the pause. Take the pause. It's like if you're in a traffic accident, you do a triage. It's like, oh my God, okay, so this happened, this happened, this happened. Can I move my fingers? Can I hear? Can I see? Can I taste? How's my back? We have to do that through this month. This is going to be kind of a volatile month. And so knowing emotionally at the end of the month, we really need to triage ourselves. So it's like, okay, these emotions are all crazy and I'm, But what are we doing? What tools have we been told? We talk about crystals, we talk about hot baths, we talk about all this self-care, but are you doing it? Are people really triaging every day at the end of the month when you know you're going to have all this psychic emotional stuff going on? What are you doing? Are you carrying that selenite to clear the energy? Are you doing a check-in midday going, I have a business meeting and it's going to be draining, and taking that 5 minutes to walk away and go, okay, I need to refill the cup because I have the rest of my day? Are we going in the shower and just taking a nice salt bath or using salts to release the funk from the day? Are we wearing our bracelets? Are we checking in? And so I think people, especially at the end of this month, we really have to be diligent about checking in. Psychically, how are you feeling? You know, because everybody is a little psychic. What is your gut telling you? How are you feeling about how you navigated this month? What can you do better? What do you need help with? Is it your own personal trauma? We have to dive in deep on this one. This is a month of self-reflection, and figuring out how we're going to navigate.
Exactly. And for those of you who are watching and listening this, by the way, Jen locks up once in a while because she's in Idaho. I'm in Minnesota. And so
Oh,
we're
did
at
I
the
lock
worst with
up?
technology here. Your voice comes through, but once in a while you freeze on your
Oh,
face, on your beautiful face. But that's okay. But I have to, at this point, tell people Jen and I don't discuss this before we record this. And it's so funny because you talked about triage at an accident scene. And of course, for those who know you, Jen, they know that you're retired law enforcement. So it's a perfect metaphor, for you to bring up. Angels were telling me you've got to be healing your old wounds. Well, what do you get at an accident scene?
right.
You get wounds, whether they're mental or they're physical, whatever the case is. And then you just mentioned the intuition piece. That's one thing with this eclipse, the angels have been going intuition, intuition,
Yeah.
intuition. Well, for me, intuition is the angels. Angels are talking to you. That little voice, that little message that you're getting, that's your angels. And in this case, dealing with wounds and letting things go and everything, that's Archangel Azrael, sometimes known as the angel of death,
Oh,
because it helps our loved ones to cross over, but also comforts those of us who would be left behind. And so it's perfect that Azrael is the archangel that steps in during this eclipse as we deal with our emotions and our wounds and letting it go.
right. And, I look at this is one of those months where your trauma, your darkest fears, your things you don't want people to know will rear its ugly head. As a reminder of the shadow work that some of us still need to do, whether it's a breakup, whether it's, the end of a marriage, whether it's the end of a business, whether it's, not feeling worthy or good enough. It makes us take that step and really pause and say, okay, the work's not done. And the work should never be done for any of us because we're all evolving to learn. And by us learning, then we can help others to learn and heal, because this is a safe space on this place. And so we all have been through the ringer, so to speak. It's just that now we've learned, and the little light bulb has kind of gone on for some of us, that we can now navigate it with eyes open and consciousness. And that's what I hope that this month will kind of shake things up for people and go, oh my God, I remember Jen and Jodi talking about this. This is exactly where I'm at right now. So I'm hoping that that will help, especially around, lunar eclipses, about the energy that we're going to feel.
Right. Yeah. Younger people, I always tell them because they get so traumatized by what some of us older people, if you will, I'm way older than Jen here. But, um, you know, I just tell them it's not the end of the world, and you're going to get through this, and you're going to learn what you did that helped you to get through this.
Right.
And so as you go through life, the more that you have those events that you don't like, I still have events that I don't like, but I, like you just said, I know how to navigate them now. Granted, it's not fun, but it's like it's not the end of the world. I'm going to come out on the other side and I will have learned even more from this one, whatever it is that I've gone through. So don't look people should look at these negative situations and negative events in their life as like something's trying to crush them, to take away their spirit. Because in reality, their spirit is getting built up. They're learning from the negative energy how to keep always moving towards that positive energy. And that's what Jen and I are hoping to do with this every single month because it's going to look a little different every month.
Right.
May hopefully will be better than April.
Yeah, I look at it as, April showers, right? Like you were saying, a
Right.
lot of the younger people just, it's storming, it's raining. But you know what? From the storm and the rain comes the beautiful flowers. So we really have to think in terms of this is a storm that's passing, but sometimes it washes away and brings beauty
Uh-huh.
and learning and understanding about ourselves. And so it's okay to have a little storm in your life, even a couple, because it's
Mhm.
just a day, it's a second, it's a moment. And if you can navigate through that moment with your angels and with your own self intuition and your guidance, then you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. There's always somebody to reach out to. There's always somebody that's going through what you're going through. So you're not alone. And just sometimes you just need to take that pause and breathe through it, which is my hope for people. Right.
Oh,
Um, but I truly feel like this will be a transformative month.
uh-huh. Right. Well, and we both said here now that you're not alone. I mean, think about okay, we're still in Mercury retrograde.
Hmm.
As of March 23rd until April 7th now, we are once again in Mercury retrograde. We have been going through this at least once or twice a year for I don't know how long now. It just keeps coming around.
Just keep writing
Well,
it.
yeah, we all deal with it. And I think that's a really important piece for people to remember is it's not like you're personally being targeted with anything. This
Right.
is called this is how the universe is at the moment. And it's nothing personal at all.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times, and this is where energy work is so darn important. I think a lot of people, and let's face it, the politics from last year just killed a lot of us. And we all had to
Yeah.
turn off social media and just block people for our own emotional well-being. And so
Right.
it's one of those that were already overloaded. And so I think a lot of people are very thin-skinned right now. They're very, in the hurt, fight, flight kind of mode. And this is an excellent time to retract, to really build ourselves up and work on us this month specifically. To where's my energy level? Am I doing meditation? Am I am I hugging my kids an extra 5 seconds? Am I going out and putting my hands in the soil? Am I getting the ocean breeze? Am I doing the self-care, self-reflection? Because I'm seeing a lot, especially on social media, of, oh, these people are talking behind my back and these people are yada, yada, whatever. But I'm also seeing that, okay, I'm seeing a little trauma there. Why are we taking on other people's energy? Why are we allowing people to hurt us? Why are we allowing that kind of reciprocal? Are you getting something from it? If you're not, that's one of those aha moments this month going, oh, why am I playing this dance? Why am I playing this game? What am I getting from this exchange? Because people cannot hurt you unless you allow them that power over you. If we take
Absolutely.
care of our own power. They can't hurt you. That's like having someone make an opinion about you that you've never met. Who cares? Right? And so we really need to be mindful. We really need to practice our own power. We really need to be in protective mode, not fearful mode, not fearful mode. Fearful stops everything. Protective mode, learning self-care, learning about our energy, our aura. How are we feeling? Because guess what? When you're not feeling good, people will know it. They will feel your energy, and then your funk will go on to them, and so on and so on. Beautiful. The other day I was in the grocery store and this lady just kept staring at me. So I looked at her, which is not uncommon with psychic mediums. She looked at me and then she put the biggest smile on. And oh my God, it was like the biggest, warmest fuzzy. And for the rest of the day, I made a conscious decision to look at somebody and just smile. How contagious, right? And
Absolutely.
so I want people to think about that, especially during this month.
Yes. And the archangel who I always bring up for Mercury retrograde is Gabriel. Gabriel is the archangel of communication and joy.
Mm,
And there it is. All it takes is a smile, and you have brought joy to someone's maybe otherwise disastrous day or bleak day or just um, uneventful, and that they would just like to have something
right.
that happens during the day that they can, before they go to bed at night, go, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for that person. I don't know who they are, but I'm so glad that they just smiled at me.
Right. And that's
Yep.
like one of the tools that I use at the end of the day is the reflection. In the very beginning of the moment, I wake up with gratitude, thanking, whatever powers that be, that I have another day. And at the end of the night, I think a lot of people forget to do this. Release what no longer serves you. Release that energy. Thank it for being present. Say, thank you for allowing me to expend my energy and helping you. But I'm recalling my energy back, and whatever is not beneficial to me, I release. I release. And then you could be rejuvenated and re-energized for the following day. But just in gratitude, Gabriel, thank you. Thank you for allowing me this day to impact somebody else, to put a little light in the world. So important.
Right. Gabriel just gave me a message. He said,
Oh,
remind everybody that they can talk to us at any time. Just call us in, just say enlightened love. Even if you don't have a name for any of us, you don't know which one to call on, just say angel or angels, enlightened love. And then after you've received the message from us, just say thank you. Um, it's as simple as that. And one other piece Gabriel was saying is tell people that we're talking about all of these celestial events. It doesn't mean you will be affected by every one of them
right,
because we're all wired differently. So, where the lunar eclipse might really affect Jen, the solar eclipse might be the one that really affects me.
right,
So it's not it's not like you're going to be just bam 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 bombarded
right.
on all sides with this because there's some other events that are going to happen in the universe. Let's see, the one is I love this, the Jupiter Neptune conjunction in Pisces.
Mm,
I'm not an astrologer. I just throw out there what they tell me, right? And that is going to be I love this though. It's an expansion of awareness, the awakening of dreams, and the dissolving of illusions. Now, if that isn't positive energy, I don't know what is.
yeah, absolutely. And it's exactly what we're talking about. It's okay. Now is the start of the awakening. Now is the start of being aware. Now is the start of navigating what we're throwing up in front of you. And so, whether or not your method is prayer, whether or not, and a lot of people don't think that the other side hears them. They do. They hear you all the time. So, angels, your past loved ones, talk to them. Ask for additional guidance. They're there at your disposal. They're not in that far away place that you can't connect. Their energy. And so that energy you still have access to. So utilize them. They're tools. but especially with conjunctions, solar events, the universal language, we're all connected. And I think the more tools in your toolbox, and I just heard people aren't utilizing what they already have and what they know. Now is the time.
Exactly.
Specifically, April is the time to start getting comfortable. Start getting comfortable with utilizing all your tools.
Yeah, you and I both know that we both, without hesitation, were in agreement that this podcast needed to start this April,
Yeah.
that this was the jumping off point for this, because this is the point where everything that we were hearing from others and feeling ourselves was like, this is where it's needed. And so
Right.
here we go. And here we are.
Right.
And go ahead.
I just see that, this whole year is a preparation. So the better prepped you are, the better you're going to navigate. And I just see there's a lot of flux in the next 2 to 5 years. There's going to be so much upheaval, a lot of changes, and the better prepared we are now, emotionally, spiritually, physically, however you want, the better we are going to be for ourselves, our others, our families, our friends. So I think that is like the shakeup. And I know my calling, your callings, especially when we've talked, it's like, oh my gosh, we are getting downloaded with the same information. So let's be there. Let's be who we say we are, guidance, helpers, to help our friends navigate, and other people who have questions, who are not aware or sure of this. Get comfortable. It's not for everybody, but if it helps in a little bit, then why not?
Right. Yeah. And there's also going to be some solar flares and some geomagnetic shifting things going on. And that's going to kind of mess with our sleep. So figure out now already what you're going to do for those nights when it's like, why am I still awake at 2
Right.
a.m.? Or why was I asleep and I woke up at 3 a.m.? Now, of course, there's various reasons we know for why some of those things happen. But now it's going to be related more to these solar flares and the geomagnetic shifting of the universe piece. And there's lots of things that you can do. If you need to get up and get out of bed, get up and get out of bed. That is perfectly acceptable. Don't feel like you have to lay there like,
Right. Like, did I do my laundry?
Your eyes are... Yeah, because sometimes you just need to get your system moving through whatever it is that's affecting you. Well, you do that by being physical, and then you go back and you lay down, and then you can drift off. I know for me, I use my third eye.
Mhm.
And I will lay there to see if the angels have just given me something, because they come to us in our dreams.
Yes.
And so you need to do that, though, when you initially wake up. So these are the perfect moments to tap into your third eye and go, okay, angel peeps, did you leave me something? And I'm awake because I need to know that right now.
Right.
And it was easier for me to wake up because there's all kinds of stuff going on out there in the otherverse, so to speak. What do
Yeah.
you do when you can't sleep?
I try and just think of positive things. I don't think of things I need to do. I think of how blessed I am, the wonderful things in my life. I think of the positive type of things. And if that doesn't work, I go into, okay, what are you trying to tell me? Who's here? The psychic mode. But one of the great things, if you can't sleep, like you said, get up. How about journal? What were you first thinking when
There
you
you go.
woke up? Is there a reason why you woke up at a certain time? Are you getting ringing in your ears? That's a clear sign of somebody trying to connect, the energy shifting.
Right.
Do something. Start that load of laundry. Start the, whatever. Be productive. And if you get tired, then go back to bed. But
Yeah.
I think that people, sometimes you just need to kind of sit there, once again, pause, Okay, is this something I need to be awake for? Can I go back to sleep? Is it the moon cycle? Because for about 3 days, I know I'm going to be awake until 2 and then be dog tired by 6. I just know that's my cycle. And then the rest of the month, I'm good. But everybody's individual. So I would say just be aware. If you need to journal. Figure out why. Is it at 3:33, 4:44, 5:55? Is there a reason why you keep waking? Numerically, are you seeing like double digits, triple digits? It all means something. So just be kind of hyper aware.
Absolutely. Um, we're coming up on the end of our time here, Jen. As we've been talking, any new insights about April that maybe have popped in that you didn't have before we started? I know sometimes it happens.
Well, I got earthquakes the day of the earthquake, so I can't claim
Yes,
that.
you did.
I should have posted it and then said, "I see, I told you." I don't think that's the only one though. So there may be other earthquakes on the West Coast area that are going to pop up probably in the next 2 weeks. So you heard it here first. I'm feeling like communication problems politically. So just know if that stuff starts popping up, turn the TV off. Turn the TV off.
Okay.
You don't need the extra strife and the strain and the craziness.
Yeah.
But I think it's more about self-reflection, self-healing this month. Now, next month is going to be something else. But this one is
Yeah.
kind of the upheaval jumping point.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a reality check. I think April is a big reality check for us. It's going to be. Um, it's gonna bring everything back in our face that we need to be conscious of and to heal from. Um, it's part of the preparation. It's part of the transformation. You think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just use everything to your disposals. And if you have a question, leave it on notes, comments in this podcast.
Yes.
Because if there's something that everybody, like 100% of the people are saying, what about?
Right.
We can address it to help you navigate. Once again, you're not alone. People are zooming into this. We're all like really tapped in, and friends of friends know. So if you're getting something, put it down, put comments, tell your friends, because we're in a journey together. We're all in this little ship together. And so I think that's super important. This is about a helpful tool, another tool, right?
Yes.
That we
Yes.
can use to
Yes.
help other people.
Yeah. Yes. Jen and I, we are going to help you navigate this shift, this awakening, whatever term you want to put on it. We're going to help you to navigate it with grace and within the divine truths.
Yeah.
It's not about Jen and I, it's about messages that we receive from from our divine sources. For me, it's the angels. For Jen, it's angels and guides and everything else, so to speak.
Yeah.
So Jen talked a few minutes ago about meditation. I wrote a meditation to close off the show. And so for those of you who aren't familiar with meditation, all you have to do just close your eyes as I basically walk you through this. There's nothing you have to do. It's not going to hurt you, and it's very short, but it'll give you an idea, and I think it'll just help maybe to set the stage now for us going forward. So everybody, if you want to take a pause and just close your eyes for a minute, and we're going to call out to the beloved angels of light, who are our divine messengers of truth and wisdom. We call upon you now because we are stepping forward into the crazy energies of April. And so, in light and love, we would just ask that you surround us in your radiant wings. We know you don't always have wings, but it's a great way to visualize you and fill our hearts. Just fill our hearts with clarity. We so need clarity for this month and courage because it's going to be a bit unsettling. And above all, divine love. Specifically, Archangel Uriel, illuminate our path, our journey with wisdom as we embrace this beginning transformation. And of course, Gabriel, oh my gosh, clear our voices, so that we speak everything in truth and love, which is so very needed. Michael, shield us. You're our protector. Shield us with your strength as we navigate these cosmic shifts that we have just talked about. And Archangel Raphael, pour your healing light upon our hearts, our minds, and our spirits, so that we may walk in alignment with our highest purpose, trusting in the unfolding of our divine journey. That's what we're on, is a divine journey. So let us release. Let's just get rid of what no longer serves and welcome in new beginnings with wide open arms and stand firm in the knowing. Here comes the empath in me. I am feeling stuff. Oh my gosh. That we are divinely guided, protected, and loved. And so it is, everyone. Hopefully that will help you this month of April. Jen, I wish we lived closer.
I
I
know.
love seeing you. I love seeing your beautiful face.
Oh, thank you.
Until next time,
Absolutely.
one last word from you, Jen.
Wear your crystals blue, pink, blue for your throat, pink, and then brown tones to help you navigate this month. Wear them.
All right, everybody. See you in May.
Bye.
Thanks again for joining Chaplain Jodi on Survivor Angels. For more information, go to chaplainjodi.me. That's chaplainjodi.me. And on Facebook at Survivor Angels Chaplain Jodi. This is Dave Schrader. Until next time, sending you off to activate your angels.